All right, welcome to the Barrel Buddies, everybody. Hey, welcome. Thanks
to
for
the
joining
Barrel
us.
Buddies.
Cheers. We have some wine.
We got a little wine tonight. A little wine and whiskey. So we posted tonight. What the heck are we doing?
Yeah.
What the heck are we doing?
Are we Woodford?
Well, we're gonna do a little Woodford.
Oh.
Why wine? We never start with wine.
Tannins, Mr. Tannins over here.
Tannins.
Biff Tannin.
Biff.
Wait, no, was it Tannin or Tanner?
Well, Biff Tannins now.
Biff Tannins.
A little Buff Tannins in your glass.
Yes. Chuck Tannins.
So if you missed the previous wine show, go back
and watch our blind tasting
and watch the
show.
blind tasting wine episode.
And if you were lucky enough to maintain viewership here with our live viewers, you caught it, and I'm sure you had a hoot with our choices.
But we'll just tell you that James picked something pretty unexpected.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst, wasn't the best, supposedly.
But it was pretty good for you.
Yeah, no,
We'd say it was the Goldilocks of wine. So we're gonna pair that tonight with a special whiskey. What whiskey do we have tonight, Jimmy?
We have Woodford Reserve, but it is not just any Woodford Reserve. I'm trying to
What kind is it?
This is double oaked.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not focusing, but
double oak. Tell me all about it.
That's great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it up here. I have it all ready to go.
Very nice. Such a small, dainty bottle.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't want to get hit over the head with this. This would not break. This is some thick glass. This is like I like my ladies.
Wow. Why don't you read the back? If
So,
it's got a little story or something?
Yeah, so this is a 45.2% alcohol, 90.4 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, finished in a second oak barrel. And it says here, finished in new, heavily toasted, lightly charred barrels. And that is the story. That's it. So, heavily toasted, but lightly charred. A flavor that would also describe Newport cigarettes.
Ooh, maybe. Maybe.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, that's...
And a hell of a color. A hell of a color. Really dark. And all that means, again, if you missed the wine episode, what we're talking about is tannins. And all that means is it's time that it sat in a barrel. And, of course, double oak means it sat in 2 barrels. And it sat in that barrel for quite a long time. So there was a lot of that barrel respiration going back and forth. A lot of exchange of some oak molecules. And that is what provides tannins. And those tannins do a lot of things. It's a chemical process that's taking out sulfites, that's providing natural flavors. And in your whiskey, it's what's giving you that vanilla, caramel, sweet notes. You're pulling out those sweet notes that naturally occur in oak, specifically oak bark, but it's really oak. And a quick history lesson here for you is that tannin, it comes back from a Greek word that stands for, or that goes back to the word for tanner, the person who's actually tanning hides. And basically it was they would powder oak bark, and that was one of the first chemicals that they were using to tan hides. And so by doing that, they were preserving hides. And so in a way, we're using that to help preserve our alcohol and give some natural flavors and things. So that's what's going on. That's your quick history lesson. But you find tannins a lot in wine. Obviously, you've probably heard that a lot in wine. Tannins. What does that mean? Well, it means that it gives it a dry or prickly flavor on the tongue, but you can find it in whiskey too. And so we're going to use the wine tonight to help identify tannins in our mouth, and then see what we can identify here in our whiskey tonight.
Great. So double oak, I pulled up the site here. So you went through a wonderful description already.
A little ranty, I'm sorry, a little ranty.
That's not ranty at all here. I'm just kind of going through. So we can we'll read their tasting.
Yeah.
Why don't we
what do they offer here?
Yeah, we'll go through it. So let's pour it.
May I do the honors?
You can do the honors. Please.
You read and I'll pour.
All right. Going through the tasting notes here, so we have an appearance of deep amber. Would you say it's deep amber?
I 100% agree with that. Deep amber.
Very good appearance description there. Rich notes on the nose. You should get rich notes of dark fruit, caramel, sharp honey. Sharp honey. Like,
Yes. Yes.
that's weird. Chocolate, marzipan, and toasted oak. The taste should be a full-bodied mix of vanilla, dark caramel, hazelnut, apple, fruit, and spices. The finish will be long and creamy with lingering hints of honeyed apple.
What a description.
Yeah, and it's got like a little flavor wheel here, and some dude making a cocktail where you use double oaked and rye Sazerac.
Wow.
Look at that. That looks like an old-fashioned to knock your socks off. An ounce of double oaked, an ounce of rye whiskey, so get like
Okay.
baby Saz or whatever. A little bit of simple, 2 dashes of bitters, and bing bang boom. Wow.
You got some simple syrup and some rye, and we're gonna make this cocktail tonight.
We could actually.
You got baby rye?
I don't have baby Saz, but I have a rye.
All right. Well, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Well, excellent. That sounds delicious.
Oh, it does. Wow.
Who knew that Woodford Reserve did something more than just regular Woodford, which I love, by the way.
Let's get into this. Wow. That smell is. Woo.
I mean, it smells like McDonald's apple pie. You know what I'm talking about? McDonald's apple pie. 2 for $1.
That's
What?
This is like an apple bomb.
It
like,
smells ridiculous.
This is totally like it smells like I thought it would like. I don't even know how to speak here. Like
It knocked your socks
like
off.
a crown apple. Like I get that smell, and it's not even. First of all, it's not Canadian, and second of all, it's not a flavored whiskey.
It's definitely from
but it has. So if any of you, I mean, tons of you, I'm sure, have had crown apple. I'm getting that like crown apple smell out of.
I mean, the color is golden brown. All right, let's get into this.
Yeah.
3 tastes. Don't forget 3 tastes. Wow. There's his tannins.
Tannins.
Whoa, very tanniny, very
Whoa,
dry. And it
what's
just keeps going and going and going and going.
And that is only 45. So this is 90, little over 90 proof, 90.4. So it's coming in at 45.2%. But it has a punch to it, I think, and it's maybe not an ethanol punch, but it hits you like
it's
a
warm. I feel it going down.
Really,
the chest. It's a winter warmer.
It's got a kick. Like this is not a. Ooh.
It's very tanniny though. That dry prickle, or as my wife would say, it tastes dusty.
I like that. Tastes dusty.
That dusty flavor. I feel it. I mean, and it's on the tongue. It lingers. Those tannins are really there. That's that oak.
Yeah, let me out. There's this apple pie. That sounds amazing. This is super tasty.
Go. I mean, right now I've had the 1 sip so far, but I'm saying, go get. This is a go getter.
It is a go getter.
This is a go get this one.
I like that. It's a go getter.
It's a go getter.
We gotta add that to the show.
It's a go getter.
Do you know what this is? It's a go getter.
It's a go getter.
That means get up.
Go get her.
Don't turn the stream off. Keep streaming us on your phone.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Go get her.
Cheers.
Let's go for that second.
God, yeah, and it's one of my like personal feelings on a whiskey. If it's something I want to go back to and have another sip, that to me is like it's good. Like it's good. I want to go back to it.
Wow.
Unfortunately, last week with the Lone Whisker show, I had trouble drinking it, and I did not want to go back to it. This, on the other hand, is like...
Let me tell you...
Bam!
Can I just say... I'm going to say a quick thank you and big shout out here to our friend, Greg Manarino, the Robin Hood of Wall Street.
Greg, the man.
I can't believe that he likes our show, sees our show. Next thing you know, he's telling you guys all to come in here.
He's sending a bunch of you over to our show.
And now I've got all these great people from the Greg Manarino show over here on our show.
It's great.
Listen, we love Greg. Greg's a dear friend of mine, and yes, we are going to have Greg on the show soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I couldn't believe when I looked and saw we had almost 600 views on the Lone Whisker show.
Blew us away. Yeah, so, much appreciated.
Cheers to Greg.
Cheers to Greg, and cheers.
Cheers, and to all of you, all of our new viewers.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. A lot of our new people out there. Amazing. We went from, honestly, I think we started the show a month ago. We had maybe 30 to 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
And we have, I don't know what you say, times 100 now?
It's 10 times that.
10 times that. We
We are
have
10 times.
over 500 subscribers, so
That's great.
I think some people like,
Thank you.
yeah, like
Thank you so much.
to have somebody
We
help
love you.
any
So
other
thank you.
content creator out is amazing. So
And again,
much appreciated.
we can't wait to have Greg on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're working out scheduling with him. Obviously, he's a very busy guy. He's got a lot going on, and so. But Greg is very excited to be on the show with us, and we'll have a show with him very soon.
Well, what's
Really
convenient is that it's outside of trading hours when we have our show.
It's true.
So hopefully he can pop over, unless he's doing some foreign trading. I don't know.
Could be, and I'm actually really excited to pick his brain on what whiskeys should I be buying stock in. What should we be investing in that's doing well? And for any of you that do follow Greg, you'll know the quant system, which is just it's a fail-safe system to make money. If you don't know anything about this, Greg Manarino, the Robin Hood of Wall Street, go check it out. I guarantee you're not going to be sad about this if you're into day trading, or even if you're new to trading. I know I'm new to trading this year.
Well, and you think about it too. I know during the quarantine, a lot of people have turned to trading as kind of like, what do I do? I'm going to go download Robinhood and buy stocks.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So,
yeah,
how many sips did you get in on this?
I've only had 2, so I need to get back into it.
Okay, that second sip, I'm going to just tell you. My second sip was leather. Like, think saddle leather. And now the third sip and every sip after that, I'm getting that sweet caramel apple. It really sweetens up, but not in a sick way, like not in that overbearing, ugh. It's like so wonderful.
It's got that kick.
It's
got
so
that
great, warm.
oaky, warm, the tannins, that leather, like you said. I get that, but then it gets super mellowed by
Agreed.
that apple honey.
It's so good.
And it's super good.
This is a big deal. How long is this barreled?
So
What did they say? How long?
We have to look. I don't
Look it
even
up.
know here. Let's take a look here.
I really want to know how long this sits in barrels.
It's a twice barreled bourbon, which means I'm assuming that it probably sits for X amount of time and then they dump it and pour it into another one.
Barrel it again, yeah.
It's won a lot of awards here.
Wow, look at this.
Silver medal at San Fran World Spirits Competition. Gold medal bartender awards. Yeah, it goes back. Look at that, double gold in 2015.
Wow. I mean,
Best in
2015
class.
obviously knocked everybody's socks off. They've seen it before by 2020, so.
I want to say 2015 too. I think that might have been the big Kavalan year. I think that was a big year for Kavalan,
Wow.
if I'm recalling. Best special barrel finish bourbon, double gold medal in 2014. Wow.
I mean, I can see it. This is insanely good.
Yeah.
Is there like, can we
do
Google
like
it up?
a double oaked Woodford Reserve. Let's see what we can find
I
here.
mean, this is magic. I mean, this is bottled magic.
Man, that's super tasty. Let's see what Master Malt says. They usually have some tidbits. It says, expression began its life being aged the same way in classic Woodford Reserve, but following this, it is further matured in barrels which have been heavily toasted and lightly charred. This imparts an added depth of sweet oak character to bourbon, as well as developing the fruit, vanilla, and caramel notes. But that's it.
Wow, maybe they're just keeping this one close to the breast here.
I mean, I would say almost 3 years, under 3 years.
That's tasty.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing kind of that sweet spot in aging of whiskey and bourbon. If I had to guess, I would say probably 3 years, maybe a year in one set of barrels and a year in another, or it could be just 6 months and 6 months. But it's great. This is really tasty, and it's
fantastic.
affordable. I don't know if any of you caught the prices there when we.
I didn't see it. What was what's the running?
So this is a baby. Like, this is a 350.
Yeah.
Or 375. Sorry, 375. Is it? Yeah, it's a 375. So this is a half bottle, and I think this was $20.
Dude, that's nothing.
Yeah, you can get a 750.
Again, this is a go-getter.
50. Yeah.
This is okay. Let's get into some ratings then. Are you ready to give this a little rating?
Absolutely. Go for it. You can jump in. Start. What's
9 out of
yours?
10. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I will tell you that this is I'm going to immediately go purchase one of these. This is immediately going to make it into my bar. Immediately.
And what's great about this is that I would want to share this with people that just
100%.
want to try whiskey. Like, hey, do you want to? Like, this is the second one I would bring out if I start somebody on a really light, like a light wheater. Start them on like a light wheat, like a Blanton's.
I'm looking at the bar behind us of what kind of is out and available. I was going to look to see if you had Clyde May.
Not out.
I was going to say I would love to put the Clyde May up against this really quick to see apple to apple.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
The apple to apple flavor.
For those that don't know, Clyde May out there makes I don't know if it's a bourbon or a whiskey. I don't know if it's in Kentucky.
I think it's just a whiskey.
Yeah, but it's
Patrick,
apple
leave us
bomb.
a note here. You know.
Yeah,
this.
if you're still there, Patrick, give it a shot
This is great.
and let us know.
So 9 out of 10. I mean, there's nothing more for me to say other than this is magic in a bottle. It's delightful. I will be adding this to my bar immediately. It's just perfect. It's great.
With all the ratings that I've given on all of the whiskeys, not just on the show, but just in general, I'm going to give this very close to you. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Yeah, that's great.
So that in my book that's a huge rating for me. Not yet, but I think the cut will be great. So for those out there that don't know about cutting, add a cap of water. Take a capful from a bottle of water, and that'll bring down the alcohol, the ethanol, of that alcohol punch, and then it will mellow it out quite a bit.
Well,
so hopefully that big punch goes away, and then it will open it up too.
The nose immediately after just adding that. I mean, the nose is fantastic, but the nose becomes really fruity, like super fruit. Just a little water, super fruit.
I get that honey now. New Take Crypto says, agreed. Woodford is pretty good. Woodford is
here.
Cheers to that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just regular old Woodford. I've always been a huge fan of regular Woodford.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Woodford
on the rocks,
solid.
A cocktail, Woodford.
Yeah, 100%. It's a solid bourbon whiskey.
I mean, it's the official alcohol of the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, it is.
So,
and for good reason.
For good reason.
All right, let's give this
Cheers.
this cut a little change
cut
here.
a taste here. So on the nose, I'm getting massive apple and honey, just like they said.
I mean, it was great uncut, but cut.
We could just sit here and drink that all day long.
We might. Why go to work? Why go to bed? When you got a great whiskey, why do anything different? It's insane.
So what that does
So
when you cut it, that punch
is gone.
That heat where you're like, it's a man's man drink.
Gone.
It's gone, and it turns
so much honey.
You leave the flavor, and it just takes away that punch, and it makes it a lot smoother.
It's super smooth.
Ride right into it. Right into the sunset drinking that. It's like I could drink this on the rocks, put 2 or 3 cubes in it, and I'd be set.
Oh yeah.
Go sit up at the pool and just pound this all day long, and
this is
get shitty pretty quick. But
this is a
cocktails.
Friday night. Yeah, no, this is a Friday night. Kick back and chill.
Yeah,
100%.
I would like to do a Woodford Old Fashioned with this. I think
that's incredible. I think
would add a lot of complexity. Throw some bitters in there, a little bit simple.
Maybe
Luxardo.
Oh, 100%. For those of you that might stick around for the rest of the live show tonight, that might be what part 3, Act 3 sounds like. That might be what Act 3 would be. Act 3, I think, is going to be a lot of getting to know us. So if you want to know a little bit more about us, it's going to be a little more of a get to know us show. Story time.
And I know we're new to YouTube content creation, but the most people on their YouTube channels you go to, they have that intro video, and we think we want to. I know, right? I know.
Unreal.
Yeah. And here's what upsets me, because it's lobster theory, right? We raised the bar when we drink this amazing, easily obtainable, very affordable, and there's so much hype and FOMO out there of bottles that people chase after and hunt.
Yeah.
Cough, BTAC, cough, Weller. You guys all know, Blanton's, even Blanton's. You guys all know the hype out there that are big whiskey fans.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys, you don't have to chase that stuff. You can spend under $50 and have a fantastic bottle of whiskey.
Agreed.
Or bourbon.
Agreed.
That will impress the masses. And I'll be honest with you guys, some of that chasing out there, it's not only stressful because we all do it. But some of that stuff is so underwhelming. There's so much hype built around some. I don't know why, because some guy in Forbes or Rob Report, who is an expert of alcohol. Sorry, I don't mean to rag on these guys on the internet.
You're absolutely right.
But no, these
Lone
guys.
Whisker is a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
2,000 bottles made a year by a couple of guys out of Napa Valley and Silicon Valley, who, good on them for being a part of it. But you go hunt it, special allocated, 2,000 bottles, $150 a bottle. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's on the low end of okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately.
It's on the low end of, and I'm okay saying that. It's on the low end of okay.
Yeah. But, back to the FOMO, there's been so many times where I've gone to a tasting and when somebody's cracked open that, they spent $600 on, some ridiculous bottle or something, and when it retails for, $50, and we try it, and it's just yeah, that's it. That's the exact reaction when you sip it, but this wows me. And
This is a wow.
It takes me back to our Elijah Craig episode. If you guys haven't seen it, go back in our episodes and watch it. Blown away by Elijah Craig offerings, and that's your uncle and your grandpa's whiskey, bourbon.
I feel like I'm going to reach across to you because this is a perfect time for us to say, click there for the Elijah Craig episode.
Whoop, whoop. We'll get it there.
We'll get it there. It's not there live.
It's not there live, but, once he does all of his magical editing. Anyway.
Ooh.
Exactly. I'm super impressed with this. As it opens up more, I can smell it from, I'd say, I'm a foot away from the glass. That honey apple. Yeah.
Okay. Now that that's in your mouth, tannins, right? We started this episode talking about tannins. Go back to your wine. And let me know what that's done for your wine, because I can tell you what it's done for mine.
I get the tannins on the tail end of that.
The tannins really came through on that last sip. This is a
it's-
little bigger than what we've been taking.
Well, and you get that evaporation in your mouth a little bit, and that brings out the tannins. You get that lingering tannin prickle, like you called it.
Exactly. And again, for those of you that are maybe tannins, what the hell are people talking about when they're talking about tannins? Or dry. It tastes dry. All that means
What does
is,
that even mean? I'm drinking a liquid. How could it taste dry?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's a serious question.
It is.
Most of us have all had.
It's the prickle. It's
Yeah.
just that prickly feeling that you're like, oh yeah, that prickle feeling, or it maybe makes you wanna
thirsty.
pucker,
Yeah, and yeah.
or oh, I need to drink of water.
Yeah, you take a sip and then you're like,
That's what it means.
weird, for some weird reason, I'm now more thirsty.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah.
That's
exactly
so
it,
now
so.
you're smarter, viewer. Now you're ready to rock.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
Here's the problem.
Change it up a little bit.
The whiskey, I think, has done such a number on my taste buds that going back to the wine, it just tastes like water. I don't really get too much.
Well, I think that...
But I get the tannins. I
Right,
do.
the
I do.
tannins.
Yeah, okay.
It's the
Maybe I needed
tannins.
another sip here. Hold on.
So Lemmy J asks, that was a quick... Well, Lemmy J says first, that was a quick 9 out of 10. Well, it was, but listen.
It's good.
It's that good.
Dude,
I'm not
yeah.
afraid to just jump on that hype.
And we're not professionals by any means.
No.
This is just years of whiskey and bourbon drinking experience, and
It's what happens when you live in Vegas.
that, exactly. But yeah, no. And you got to remember, our rating system is, at least I feel, is if we count in price, so
Yep.
price point, so
Price.
value,
Great value.
availability. So
Easily obtainable.
can you find it? Is it a little bit hard to get? No, this is very easily obtainable.
Agreed.
Pretty much across the world.
Yeah.
Well, United States. And then obviously taste. Smell and taste.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's sitting on all of those. But Lemmy Jane says, are tannins good or bad? I mean, at the end of the day, that's a really objective question. It's all in what you like. If you like the flavor, if you like the mouthfeel, if you're enjoying your beverage, then they're great. If you don't like what's going on in your mouth when you drink it, and you don't like that prickle flavor, and you think it's taking away from what you're drinking, then it's not great. Then it's not, then it's not for you.
Well, and I also think really quick too, like food. Sometimes I've had some high tannin wine or something very dry, and I'm eating a meal, and it doesn't help the meal.
Agreed.
So
I agree with that. But I've
Yeah.
also had some really dry, high tannin wine where I'm like drinking it and I'm like, I don't really, maybe I picked bad. But the moment you start pairing it with a good food, a steak or a fish, chicken, whatever it is that you started to eat, it really does, those pairings, it really brings things out. So again, it's all in what you like, and it's all about what your body and your mouth is telling you. So you got to try it.
You got to try it.
You got to try it.
There's so many,
Don't listen to these people who tell you, well, I'm a sommelier or I'm a professional.
You have to drink this. This is the best.
No. You know what you have to drink? You have to drink what you like.
What you like.
Period.
And you really, going back to, if you guys really go back, our first episode, not that far back, but I touched base a little bit about flavor profiles. And don't expect, if you don't know really how to taste a wine, and what I mean by that is picking out flavors, your taste buds learn, your brain learns these flavors and smells and tastes by, picking them out. And you taste something, you're like, I kind of get apple in this. Well, that's what apple tastes like. It should have apple in it. Your brain's going to remember that. So the next time you have something down the road, you're like, oh, this has apple in it, right? And it's some whiskey or wine, et cetera, et cetera. And you learn, your taste buds grow as your palate evolves from trying all this stuff. It's not one day, these master sommeliers out there, just drink randomly out of the blue and can pick out 20 different flavors and smells.
It's an acquired talent, and an acquired taste is not a bad thing.
That's true, but a lot of it's learned.
Agreed.
It's anyone out there, there's many years.
But this is a good moment to cut.
See everybody.
And then say, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
It's been fabulous.
Yeah.
Woodford Reserve Double
Oaked. Get it. Under $50.
It's a go-getter.
It's a go-getter.
Good night.
Bye. Ta-da.